Good morning, Hope Point. Happy Sunday. I am so excited to be with y'all this morning. And we have entered Eastertide. Last Sunday was the first Sunday of Eastertide. And we are celebrating Jesus being risen from the dead. And what a great story that Jesus has. Now we have crucified him on the cross. We have buried him in the tomb. And we have waited 3 days. And after the third day, we realized the tomb was empty and Jesus is risen. Now, we have a really wonderful story today, and I am excited to read it to you guys and talk to you about it. But first, I want to know who likes puzzles. I love puzzles. Now, anybody in my family could tell you that I like to clear off my entire dining room table, put a big puzzle down, and work on it until I finish it. I like to find all the little pieces that go together, and I like to put the whole thing together so that I can see the bigger picture. Now, in our story today, we're going to find out that much like puzzles, the disciples had to put some pieces together to see the bigger picture. So we are going to be in the Complete Illustrated Children's Bible on page 534, reading A Stranger in the Road. Now, this also is our gospel lesson for the day. So if you watched our worship service, which I hope you did, you will see that Deacon Shelley has given the gospel lesson for the day. So it's found in Luke 24, and it's verses 13 through 35. So follow along or listen, and let's get to it. So, the stranger in the road. The same day, 2 of Jesus' followers were traveling along the dusty road from Jerusalem to a village. They couldn't stop talking about the last couple of days. Soon another man approached them and asked what they were talking about. "Where have you been?" they asked in amazement, and went on to tell him excitedly all about Jesus, the amazing things he taught and the miracles he performed. Then, more somberly, they told of his death and his disappearance from the tomb. "How slow you are to believe what the prophets told you," said the stranger. "Don't you see that the Messiah had to suffer these things and then enter his glory?" He began to talk to them about everything that had been said in the scriptures about Jesus. They were enthralled, for he made everything so clear. At the village, they urged him to dine with them. As they were eating, he took some bread, and giving thanks for it, he broke it into pieces, and he handed it to them. Suddenly, they realized who this stranger really was. It was Jesus himself. And then Jesus vanished. The friends hurried back to Jerusalem, and they couldn't wait to tell the disciples the good news. Now, the 2 disciples were walking along the road, and they come across this random stranger. They had no idea who he is, and they had to put the pieces together to be able to see that this stranger really was Jesus. They had no problem telling the stranger all about all of the wonderful things Jesus had done while he was alive, and how he was crucified on a cross, and he died, and he was buried in the tomb, and then he vanished from the tomb. But it took Jesus sitting down at the table with them, taking bread, giving thanks for it, and breaking it for them to realize who Jesus was before he vanished. Now, when they realized who he was, they realized he surely and truly is alive. And they hurried back to Jerusalem to tell the other disciples of the good news. Now, I love this story because it is a constant reminder that no matter what we're doing or where we are, where we're walking, we need to walk alongside Jesus. We need to look for Jesus in whatever we're doing, especially in a time such as now where things are very unclear and uncertain. Look to Jesus. Look to him. Ask him for guidance. Ask him to see things with his eyes. And I assure you that it will change the way you view things and change the way that you're living out in this season. So I put a simple craft together, and it's going to be very easy. So I need you to just get a sheet of paper, a marker, some scissors, and you can use either ribbon, string, yarn, or I used pipe cleaners and tape. And so what I want you to do is I want you to get your piece of paper and your marker, and I want you to trace an outline of your foot on it. And when you're done with that, you can take scissors, or if you need help, you can ask your parents to help you. And I want you to cut out your outline of your foot. Okay? Now, then I want you to get your ribbon or your pipe cleaners or your yarn, whatever you chose to use, and I want you to cut one long string about, I'd say probably 8 inches, and I want you to fold it in half. Now when you fold it in half, I want you to poke a hole towards the toe of your foot, your paper foot, and I want you to just string half of your string, yarn, pipe cleaner, ribbon, whatever you're using, through that, and I want you to tape it down with tape. Now, on the what you're going to do, you should have 2 pieces hanging off the side, right here. And I want you to poke 2 holes on the side, pull your ribbon through there, and tape it down on the back. Now what I did, it says, I walk with Jesus. And it just has the scripture verse where you can find this scripture. And you can use it as a reference guide to remind you what you're supposed to be doing as we live out this season. So I put, I walk with Jesus, and it's my daily reminder every time I see my little flip-flop that I need to walk with Jesus in everything that I'm doing. I need to look to him and see things the way that he sees everything that's going on in this season. So it's super simple, super easy, super fast. Kids, if you need help, ask your parents. I'm sure they'd be more than willing to help you. And guys, I cannot wait to be with you again. I miss you all, and I love you so much, and we'll see you soon. Bye.